As per relational dynamics as it pertains to human behavior or animal behavior, I want to explore the idea, not just the idea, but the concepts and the foundation behind all interactions with animals, um, be that our own species or interspecies. And I know some of my videos so far have dealt with the interactions between different species. One of my early videos was between a squirrel and a bird. The squirrel was trying to get up a tree. There was a bird nest, and a little fight or tiff ensued where the squirrel didn't actually get into the tree and the bird was attacking it, to let it know that it wasn't um, going to entertain that idea. I'm sure the squirrel was thinking eggs and food, and the bird was thinking keep the squirrel away. So looking at, and excuse me, I've got my glasses on and I'm not focused on the camera, but I'm driving and I have my air conditioning on and so on. Today's rather hot and humid, and I want to take care of me and Luna in the background there. The thing that I'm looking at in terms of the dynamic that happens between people and wild animals, birds, and so on and so forth, first of all, is that we're usually so loud and we make so much noise and so on that there's nothing else out there except maybe bears and porcupines that make as much noise as we do. And while most animals are used to bears and porcupines, they're not used to the sounds and shuffling and so on that we make when we're outside. Also, for the most part, people are on their cell phones, are stumbling along and trying to communicate with each other in nature and say where they are and post selfies and so on and so forth, where wild nature has no regard for you in that space. So one of the things that I think is really important when you're in nature and when you go out into the wild areas and step into the woods and spend time in the field, as it were, whether that's a natural field, a feral field, woodlands, the woods on a path or conservation area, whatever it is you're going into, the natural environment, the outdoors, whatever environment you're going into, one of the first things that you should be aware of if you want to be around nature and you want to be around wildlife is to be quiet. And I don't just mean your voice, I mean walk slowly, pace yourself very slowly, and be aware that any noise and any sound that you make could deter nature from being there. Also, something that you'll find about birds in particular is that if you're quiet enough and you don't move and you observe where they're looking, after a few seconds they forget that you're even there. Their short-term memory is such that if it hasn't moved in the last 5 seconds, then it's okay. This is something that cats know about birds. A cat knows that a bird forgets. This is how cats, particularly domestic cats, are able to catch birds. A cat knows that a bird forgets. And we can utilize that as well. If you want to get closer to a bird, sit still for a little while. Watch where it's watching. It's listening and watching for you to make a move. And when it looks the other way, slowly and quietly walk or creep along in its direction. Stop again when it looks back to see what that sound is, or what that crunching is, or whatever you stepped on. As you're stepping through nature, also be aware of the ground underneath you. What are you stepping on? And are your shoes soft? Are they malleable with the earth, or are they hard and clunky? Are they going to make a lot of noise? Is the ground underneath you leafy in terms of dried leaves, sticks, branches, any of that? Or is it greenery? Is it grass? All of these things make sounds. And so your interaction with your environment, first and foremost, is going to inform those animals that are there, who probably have already flown the scene and disappeared as you arrived. Another thing to be aware of is how you smell to nature. If you're upwind or downwind, doesn't matter a whole lot. Wild things are going to smell you long before you arrive. If you're putting on bug repellent, for instance, wild things, not just insects, smell that a long ways off, and it's something to be cautious of, because to them it's a foreign smell. It's toxic, perhaps. And your smell, the way you sound, these are key things that nature picks up on before you even think about it. So another one is sight. If you're making any kind of sound and you don't blend in with the environment, you're instantly a target for observation. So if you're wearing bright colors and they don't blend in with the natural environment, there's another piece. So all in all, being very aware of ourselves in the environment, in the natural world, in the outdoors, is key to interacting with and observing wild animals and their behavior. So again, this is my bit on social behavior in terms of animal behavior, and we are very much animals, and nature is usually observing us long before we have a chance to observe nature. While we can hear things and see things a little ways off, they're not going to allow us to get close until we can meet a dynamic and be in with them on the same page. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being curious about animal and human behavior as it pertains to spending time in nature and observing the natural world that surrounds you. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing if you're getting anything out of this, and I look forward to your feedback and input going forward. Cheers, and have a wonderful afternoon or day or morning or night, whatever time this is when it reaches you. Thank you.